Oh, Mr. Spiller, you're back yet again. Both of you gentlemen are charged with possession of marijuana. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay?
Officers were investigating controlled buy for a possible stolen skid steer from a known felony theft suspect who had an active felony theft warrant involving the sale of a stolen skid steer. Officers.
Okay, stolen what?
Skid steer.
Skid steer.
Your Honor, it appears to be like a tractor of some sort, kind of like a small bulldozer. It's just what it appears based on images.
What's the value of that? It's got to be felonious for sure.
I'm not sure about the value in this present case, but they range from 5,000 to 50,000.
Right. Okay.
So officers observed the suspect vehicle follow the officer's unmarked vehicle for several miles, making the same turns and traveling the same routes. Officers conducted a stop for the expired registration and no return of valid proof of financial liability. Occupants were defendant Spiller, defendant McGuire, and known felony theft suspect defendant O'Neill. Officers observed in plain view several clear baggies containing a green leafy substance. Officers knew from training and experience the substance was marijuana, and it was within the center console in the immediate reach of both defendant Spiller and defendant McGuire. The weight was 1.01 ounces. Defendants exited the vehicle and the officers located a pistol in the front center or the front passenger door area where defendant McGuire was sitting, a clear baggie with a green leafy substance that officers knew to be marijuana, and on defendant McGuire's person, a key to the skid steer in the back seat area where defendant O'Neill was sitting. Defendant McGuire claimed ownership of the pistol.
So no gun case, I guess? Did you guys confiscate the weapon? And so where was the marijuana again?
The marijuana, I think, was in the center console.
So how do we get Spiller into this thing?
So the officer, it just says officer observed in plain view several clear baggies, and it was within the reach of both defendant Spiller and defendant McGuire.
Did anyone claim ownership of the weed?
It doesn't say that they did. I know that like I said, defendant McGuire claimed ownership of the pistol, but I don't believe there was any ownership claim for the weed.
Who's driving the car? And I guess in that as well, who owned the car?
So Judge, I'm looking for the office report and to get these other agencies and
No problem.
The driver of the vehicle was defendant Spiller. I'm looking for the owner. And I believe the owner of the vehicle was Spiller as well.
So the weed was just, you said, in the center console, right?
The marijuana, the offense report states that the marijuana was in plain view of the officer and that it was in reach of both defendants. Um, and checking.
I mean, I'm down with it on Spiller, but I'm not gonna impute it to McGuire, you know?
Judge.
I mean, if you can show me somehow that he has care, custody, control somehow, then I'll find PC on McGuire, but otherwise I'm gonna find no probable cause. But I am gonna find probable cause on Spiller.
I'm just looking through the offense report from Pasadena.
And I mean, we can, because we have a lot of people waiting. Let's do this. I'll give you a bit of time. Mr. McGuire, take a seat from the jury box for now. Mr. Spiller, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license? Run his license, please, as well. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm gonna randomly test you. Mr. Spiller, I'm sending you for a drug test right now as well, and I wanna know what, if anything, is in your system. If it's just weed, I'm gonna test you again in 35 to 40 days, and if I find that you continue to smoke weed, I'm gonna put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is now your 5th case within the last. Your 4th case within the last year and a half. Things are not going well. What do you do with your life? Doing what?
Construction.
Is it a full-time job?
Yes, sir.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
I'm sending you for a drug test. You must come right back. You understand?
Yes, sir.
When you come back, we'll talk about your lawyer situation. Don't. Mr. McGuire, I'm going to find no probable cause in your case now. I want you to understand this life is but very short, and the more convictions you get on your record, the more criminal cases you get, the harder your life becomes. This life is extremely difficult as it is, especially being a young Black man in this world. The more convictions you get, the more difficult it just becomes for you. You know what I mean? When you hang with dogs, you get fleas. So get in school, get an education, do something with your life. Because right now, as I see it, it's just not going well. You know what I mean?
And you're gonna follow your dismissal now.
Your case is gonna get dismissed. You got lucky today, may not get so lucky next time. Do you understand? All right, bud, you're free to go. No more smoking. I'm done with it. I'm gonna test you 40 days from today. You know what happens. I've given you a lawyer. Don't pick up any more cases.
Yes,
You
sir.
pick up a new case, you continue to use. There's only one place that's gonna happen. I'm not giving you any more PR bonds. It's also your responsibility to stay in touch with Abel. If he tells me that you're ghosting us, that you're not remaining in contact, that's it. I'm not asking much, man. I'm just asking you to follow the law. Don't drive. That's the main rub. If you drive, it's really gonna go sideways quick. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and I'm happy to let you drive. But no driving till that point. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. Thanks, Abel. That's it. So 40 and then